All right, 7 seconds later. So back to the meal prep. So again, get a crock pot. It's the easiest thing to do. If it's one of those things where you have a family and kids and animals or whatever it may be, I know life gets kind of crazy, but the whole point of meal prepping is so when you come home to that crazy life, you have healthy meals ready to go. It's one of those things where, again, you probably heard this quote: "Failure to plan is planning to fail." My biggest thing I like to tell people is, if you come home from a long day at work and you have nothing made, I mean, what's the chances of, you're cooking yourself chicken and, rice and asparagus, whatever you like to eat, or ordering a pizza? What's the most logical thing is usually a pizza. So people, again, we're just creatures of habit and we want to go to what's the easiest thing to get right away. So having those meals ready to go is a huge, huge thing. So the last thing is kind of everyday to-do list. It's one of those things where, I tell people and the people are going to do it are going to do it. So it's biggest thing is the minute you wake up, try to drink a big glass of water, either 1 to 2 glasses. It kind of kickstarts your body, gets you woken up, everything ready to go from there. The second thing is to make sure you eat your first meal upon waking up in the first kind of 1 to 2 hours. Skipping meals is very, very bad, and we'll talk about that in the science part. Eating every 3 hours has the best results, but it's one of those things where that doesn't work for everyone, depending on jobs and life and kind of things like that. So if you can do the every 3 hour way, that's awesome. I know I can't. I know 95% of people can't, but we'll talk about that more as we set up stuff. The last thing is water, water, water. Drink a lot of water. The biggest kind of first step is to kind of get rid of all those wasted calories, which is in beer, soda, excess coffee, kind of things like that. All those little things add up. Most people don't know how much sugar is in soda or how many carbohydrates it has and all those little things. So the more you can take that kind of stuff out, the quicker you'll see things. So my biggest rules are if you can live without dairy and bread, Exum. Same thing with beer, soda, and things like that. You take all those little things out you kind of do day to day, you'll see instant weight loss. It's those little things that add up the most that people don't kind of realize. So kind of now into meal specifics and before we get into our science talk here. So it's kind of all about the macronutrients. So macronutrients are any type of nutritional component that you use in a large amount, which are proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. I'm sure you've heard of at least one of those as we go through. So the body burns a certain amount of energy every day, and this is measured in calories. So you want to think of a calorie as energy. That's kind of the easiest way to kind of think about it. So in order to lose fat or lose weight, you basically you need to feed your body less energy than it burns. What happens is, or at least the kind of scientific little kind of way, to lose weight equals total amount of energy you take in. You take away about 20% of that intake, that equals weight loss, and that's kind of how it works. So most people have heard take away 500 calories, whatever it is, and it's usually about 20% intake. That is true. Basically, with to lose weight, you just have to take in less energy than less food than you're actually consuming or your body needs to lose there. So it sounds easy, but the biggest thing, a calorie isn't a calorie when we're talking about body composition. So it's one of those things where you could lose weight, and I sent everyone in that Twinkie article where that professor ate nothing but Twinkies and junk food, and he lost like 20 something pounds because he used this method. This method is, he lost weight, but it probably wasn't good weight. Yeah, he lost a little bit of fat, but he lost probably a majority of muscle as well. I'd have to go back in the details and look. But the biggest thing is, again, this is just for simple weight loss. What we're trying to achieve is to look good, which is taking away that fat loss, but also gaining muscle or toning up as you go through. So it's kind of that's one of those things where when we set stuff up, whether it be paleo or going back up to this part, or if it fits your macros, kind of things like that, we want to make sure we have a good ratio of those proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. They all act very different. So 1 gram of protein is a whole hell of a lot different compared to 1 gram of carbohydrate. They both do different things for your body in terms of what they actually do. And we'll talk about that in 2 seconds. I'm going to switch so I can open my other sheet.